Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the one with the recapping, the Friends edition. I am your friendly neighborhood soda, as always, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend Ben Rayner. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to getting into this. It's one of my favorite.
Me as well, but before we start, I just want to say one thing. You're going to need to change the overlay. You do not use that Twitter account anymore.
Damn it.
It's all good. It's all good.
Damn it. I made it too. I just forgot to
Nah,
load
that's
it
fine.
up.
That's fine.
Uh, I'll do it
So,
for next week.
so yes, we are here giving our top five lists of our favorite episodes of from every season of Friends. Right now, we are on season three. So, what are your thoughts in season three, Ben?
It's one of the best. Some pretty iconic stuff came out of this one. We get to see he's becoming that jackass we all know.
Mm-hmm. The
And
seeds, this planting of the seeds of it.
well, I mean,
Oh, compared to where he ends up, it's like it's just the start of it.
okay, I'll go with you on that. We see some pretty fun guest stars throughout the season,
Yes, sir.
and yeah, I'm. What are your thoughts on it?
Overall, really good season. It's got some of my favorite moments. It's also incredibly pivotal in terms of the Ross and Rachel relationship. Um, yeah, overall it is a good season, very much so. And yes, and while I'm just going to spoil my list a little bit. While the episode isn't on my list, it does have my favorite cameo, which is
Oh,
what I'm talking about.
yeah,
It's not on my list, but I'm sure we'll be talking about it when we get there.
yeah, it's on my list.
Okay.
If I'm right, it's on my list.
Okay. Well, let's. You know what? Let's just kick off with it. What is your number five?
The one with the football.
Oh, punt.
Okay.
My number five is the one with the hypnosis tape.
Ooh.
Yeah. So one of Monica's customers leaves her a $20,000 tip that she considers to be a joke. He turns out to be billionaire Pete Becker, played by Jon Favreau, who everybody knows is the director of Iron Man and the creator of The Mandalorian, who wants to date Monica. Phoebe is shocked when her 18-year-old brother becomes engaged to his former teacher, Alice, played by the lovely Deborah Jo Rupp, who everybody knows as Kitty from that 70s show, which is actually why she was never able to appear after the birth episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they were doing season one that season, and they the studios managed to actually get an agreement for her to appear during that episode, but that's why she never appeared ever again.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah. So Phoebe convinces Alice to come to her apartment and tell Frank why the relationship cannot work, only for this to backfire when the couple becomes passionate upon seeing each other. Chandler uses a hypnosis audio tape while sleeping to quit smoking, but it is meant for women, which brings out his feminine side. Monica agrees to date with Pete and takes her out for pizza in Italy. Now, the reason why this episode is on my list is for the little bit they talked about Chandler, the Chandler using the feminine hypnosis tape. It is so funny to see what happens to him in this season. He like uses lip gloss, but he puts it on like he's putting on lipstick. But my favorite is when people are in the apartment and Chandler walks out of the bathroom with a towel on his head and the towel right up over his nipples, just walking through as if nothing's wrong. It's Matthew Perry's comedic timing is perfect. Perfect.
And I love the what is it called? I guess you could call it the payoff at the end when Joey finds the tape and he's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Make Joey a sandwich.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Okay, so that's my number five. What is your numero four?
The one with the giant cooking device.
That didn't make my list.
Okay, this one picks up right where the previous episode ends up. Joey finds out Janice is cheating on Chandler, and he must decide what to do. Tell his friend or let him go along pretending like nothing is different.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Phoebe has her toothache and has to go to the dentist, but she's afraid to because every time she goes, somebody dies. It is a really good episode. You see, Chandler is actually really hurt when the truth comes out about Janice. And you can tell he really cared for her in this season. And they had a real relationship in this season.
Yes, and I mean it's hard to see a character you love so much have to go through that, but this is one of Matthew Perry's better scenes as Chandler when it comes to serious stuff. I would definitely put it up there. Is the conversation with Janice.
And I would say this, Joey had a moment when Chandler asked Joey what he would do. Joey said, if I were him, I would step aside because they're a family, they want to be, they should be together, and you don't want to be that dick who stands in the way of that.
100%.
And I think that's one of Joey's most mature looks at anything.
Yeah, what I love about that is, obviously we know Joey as the lovable buffoon, he's an idiot, but this shows that deep down, he actually does know right from wrong. Well, I mean, he always has, but this just shows he knows what's the right thing to do.
I will say that about Joey, he might be an idiot at sometimes, but he always is honorable. He always has that moral compass. Unlike Ronnie from How I Met Your Mother, where he has inner, his inner self is good, and he doesn't sacrifice on his outer self.
Oh, of course, his inner moral compass doesn't point north.
Right. So, I think that's yeah.
Yeah, and it's also the reason why he steps down is also because Chandler knows what that's like.
Oh, yeah.
So he doesn't want this kid to go through what he did, and lo and behold, we find out Janice and this King guy divorced anyways, but that's besides the point.
More turkey, Mr. Chandler?
Yeah, actually, you and I were talking yesterday because you asked me if this was considered a two-parter. I personally don't consider it a two-parter, but I can see why you would make the argument for what it is, for why.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, well, I don't want to get into it, but
yeah, well,
number 4.
I'm not. We'll talk about the other episode in a minute. My number 4 is the one where no one's ready.
Well, it's like that's my number 3. So do you want to come about it now?
No, we'll do it when we get to your number. Well, yeah,
yeah.
And then I'll do my number 3 right afterwards. So the one with no one where is the thing on here? The one where no one's ready is the second episode of the season. Ross is in a hurry to get everyone ready in time for an important banquet at the museum, but they keep delaying. Phoebe arrives on time, but gets in the way of Joey and Chandler throwing hummus, which lands on her dress. Monica freaks out after hearing a voicemail from Richard, unsure if it is an old message or a new one. Joey and Chandler fight over who can sit in Monica's chair. Joey takes the seat cushions, then puts all of Chandler's clothes. Rachel refuses to go after Ross yells at her for not being dressed. So this is one of the best examples of what they call a bottle episode, where the entire story is self-contained into one set. And in this case, it is the apartment, because of course. But we got one of the most memorable moments from Friends out of this episode. Could I be wearing any more clothes?
Yeah. And you can see Ross's sarcasm in this episode.
Oh, for sure. Which, I kind of get. It's an important night for him. He's giving this important speech, and he wants everything to go well. So I understand why he's frustrated, but yeah, he's a bit of a dick in here.
I understand, but at the same time, You don't need to. He didn't need to snap head ratio like
No,
that.
no, she just was the unfortunate victim.
Hmm.
But really, what makes this episode is the Chandler and Joey storyline because of the argument they get into. Because uh, Chandler, as a means of getting back at Joey, decides to hide all his underwear when he goes and changes into his tux. And so Joey, when he finds this out, says, "I'm going to do the opposite of you," and he puts on all of Chandler's clothes. But Chandler's like, "How is that the opposite?" And
Opposite is opposite.
yep, opposite is opposite. And Joey's like, "Could it be any more hot in here? I should do lunges." And he does lunges while without wearing any underwear, wearing all of Chandler's clothes. It is one of the most popular, famous images from this show.
You forgot the voice, the funniest line. Maybe if I wasn't going commando.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but seeing Joey and Chandler at odds is pretty damn funny.
When it's not comedically. Like, when it was done in season 2, when it was taken seriously, that wasn't funny. But it wasn't meant to be.
No, it wasn't meant to be, no. Yeah, no, a great episode. And like I said, if you want a good example of how to do a bottleneck episode, this is the one.
Well, when you think about it, most of the Thanksgiving episodes are model episodes.
The most of the what, sir?
Thanksgiving episodes.
That's true. Not most. Yeah, I guess so. Not all of them. One of them.
Not all of them, but a good chunk of them, easy.
Yeah, it's true. I never actually thought about that. But to be honest, I probably would put this over most of those Thanksgiving episodes. But that's just me, though.
There's one or two I wouldn't. 2 or 3 I wouldn't disagree with you on that.
No, fair point. I do have one little bit of trivia from this episode. Matt LeBlanc dislocated his shoulder during one take of the stunt where Joey and Chandler raced towards the chair, landing upside down as a result, with the audience assuming it was part of the act. The injury was not edited into the episode, but for the following 2 episodes, LeBlanc's injury was written into the show as Joey dislocating his shoulder while jumping on the bed.
So that's why
That's why he's in the slings, because he hurt himself filming the episode.
So that happened during the episode?
During the filming, and like they said, the shot wasn't used, but yeah, he hurt himself when they both make the mad dash for the seat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, your number 3. What?
Well, this was your number 3, my number 4. So now I'm back on to my number 3, which is what you would consider the first part of the poking device, the one with the race car bed.
In my honorable mentions.
Monica tries returning a bed after receiving the wrong one from Janice's ex-husband's store. While there, Joey sees Janice kissing her ex. Things end badly after Rachel tries to get her father and Ross to bond during dinner out together. To make amends, Rachel sets up a brunch only for it to backfire on her when Ross and Dr. Green bond over criticizing her. Joey teaches a soap opera acting class. When Joey and the student are up for the same part in a soap opera, Joey tries sabotaging the student's chances by suggesting he play the character, a boxer, as being gay. The other friends lambaste Joey for betraying the student's trust, though the student ultimately wins the part. So, yeah, the reason why they're at the store is because Phoebe's in the apartment teaching Joey how to box for the role, and she ends up punching him. And when the guys show up, she signs for Monica Falula Geller, I think is what it was. And while she's fixing Joey, and they come with his race car bed. And of course they're going to return it. That's when they find Janice kissing. But my favorite part of the episode is the epilogue scene where Chandler's on the bed pretending he's a race car driver. Because, Chandler would.
Yeah, of course he would.
Yeah. But yeah, I can only imagine what it was like seeing this when it aired, just to see that end shot of Joey seeing Joey seeing Janice and her ex-husband kissing. Because at this point in time, Janice and her ex were in the middle of going through a divorce.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but we never see that guy, right?
We do. At the beginning of the episode, we do see him in the commercial for the store.
Okay, right. I forgot about it.
Do see him, but we don't. In that moment, we don't. We only see the back of his head.
When I meant we don't see him and Janice together, I guess.
instance would receive them together, correct?
Yeah. All right.
So now you're number 2.
I know there might be a random episode, but I love it because I'm a guest star. The one with the streamer.
Oh, yeah, it didn't even make my list. Didn't even make my list, honorable mention or otherwise. But yes, it was a great, great guest star.
Okay, before Rachel has a new boyfriend who I think met where they were going to see the show him play. And for whatever, I forget where the women were at, but Ross and a guy were getting their seats, and some people were in their seats. And as Ross was starting to talk, ask him nicely to move, Rachel Snake just screamed his head off and made a scene, and Ross is like, oh shit, this guy is scary. And he's trying to tell the king throughout the episode, and nobody believed him because at this point, he was Rachel's ex, so they figured, okay, he didn't have Shannon's ex-boyfriend. But throughout the episode, the guy screams, and then from that time he screamed at, he screamed at the chick, and finally the king sees him. He says, okay, we have to break up now. But the best part of the storyline, the screamer, played by Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, whose future wife appears later in the season.
Yeah. I just love this episode, and while everyone is at the play, Phoebe is stuck at Monica and Winter's house on the phone, trying to, on a waiting hotline number, trying to return what?
She's trying to, so her own personal phone broke, so she called the online okay, so her phone broke. She tried to call the company to get them to replace it before the warranty expires. Thing is, she doesn't realize that it is not a toll-free number. She was charged the whole damn time. That's going to be quite the bill, especially for people living in New York.
I hope she paid them back.
Oh, probably did, of course.
Yeah, I love this episode.
It's a fun one.
This Ben Stiller and his most Ben Stilleriness, Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. It's everything you need. When you think of Ben Stiller, pretty much everything that you expect to see on screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Any thoughts about it? Or not really?
It was a fun episode. It was great to see Ben Stiller in there. He was great as the guy yelling at him. And yes, screaming at the chicken and the duck was a little too far. I agree with Chandler on that. He should have stepped away.
Step away from that duck.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your number 2, Matt?
The one where Chandler can't remember which sister.
Oh, good episode.
Yeah. Monica and Rachel's noisy upstairs neighbor is excessively charming. Phoebe confronts him about the noise and ends up dating him. The Monica and Rachel become uncomfortable when they later hear all of Phoebe's intimate upstairs activities. Rachel is frustrated with her new job of making coffee all day and sorting hangers. When Rachel vents her frustration to Monica at the diner, a customer named Mark mentions a vacancy in his department at Bloomingdale's and arranges an interview. Rachel gets the job, but Ross suspects Mark has ulterior motives for recommending her. A drunken Chandler fools around with one of Joey's sisters, but later cannot remember which one, angering Joey. Now, this is the introduction of Mark, who is the catalyst for the breakup between Ross and Rachel later. But really, this whole episode is the Chandler storyline where he's still trying to get over. I believe is he trying to get over Janice? Is that why he's drunk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So because this is only like 3 episodes later. So he's trying to get over her, and he accidentally consumes, I think, all the Jello shots. And one of the funny moments is when you're talking about who Chandler put his tongues down. You know what I'm getting at, right? Like whose throat did Chandler put his tongue down? Yeah. And the girls were like me, and then Ross was like me. showing that Chandler gets very handsy when he's drunk. But the best part is when when Chandler shows up to Joey's parents' house to apologize. Joey's the one who opens the door because he still gets his mom to do his laundry, or his mom or his grandma or someone to do his laundry.
Yeah.
And shit goes wrong when Chandler thinks he has found the right girl to apologize to, and he starts kissing Chandler. They make out, whatever. Then the real Mary Teresa walks in and yells for Joey. And I wouldn't want to be Chandler in that situation because not only his angry best friend, but all 7 of the sisters surrounded him, and he's put in an uncomfortable position.
All I hate this about this episode. See, Joey, I'm surprised Joey didn't get angrier at Chandler. Because we see him really pissed the next season. And I would say, maybe, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, Joey got over him pretty quickly. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, it is his best friend.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Overall, funny episode, but the bit in the Tribbiani household is what makes this episode so great.
I think my favorite line in this episode is when Chandler's already starting to get drunk, and Joey's sister's alive for the first time, and I think he talks to Monica. How many of that woman do you see?
Yeah. Yeah, Matthew Perry is drunk is pretty damn funny. All right, so some honorable mentions.
Oh no, Race Coleman,
Mm-hmm.
The Morning After, The One at the Beach,
Mm-hmm.
The One with Lots of Thing, and The One with the Flashback.
So I've got as honorable mentions the one at the beach, the one without the ski trip, the one where Ross and Rachel take a break, and the one with a flashback.
Now, before I reveal my number 1, I want to reveal my Joey moment of the
All right, go ahead.
season. Matt, did you know that Peter is from the Netherlands?
Sorry, say that again.
Peter Pan is from the Netherlands.
Yeah, I knew that. Oh, yeah, no, of course. Where he thinks he thinks it's made up because it sounds like Neverland. Yes, that's right. Which we will, we'll talk about that episode.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll reveal my number 1.
Yeah.
The one with the Ultimate Fighting Champion.
So we will talk about it. Yeah.
This is a fun episode.
It is.
Monica's boyfriend decided he wanted to be a Ultimate Fighting Champion for some reason, and he gets that shit beat out of him throughout the episode, to the point where Monica can't be with him anymore because it hurts her too much to see him getting...
Well, he ends up in a full upper body cast.
But still, I mean, yeah. But the piece, the resistance of this episode is of course open. When these two guys come and they're in the middle of an argument, and they take over the coffee shop, and the moment one of the friends starts to interact, they yell at them for getting involved. But the funny part is, it's all improv and it's done by the one and only Billy Crystal and Robin Williams.
Yeah, and even Joey's whole bit was improv too.
Yeah. God, they made this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to look up that bit. So Tim is Billy Crystal and Tomas is Robin Williams because of course he's going to do an accent. So yeah, like Tim, I have to confess something. Tomas, what is it, man? Tim, it's me. I've been sleeping with your wife. So this is where Joey comes in. So you're the gynecologist. Tim's like, hey, I'm trying to have a private conversation here. And then Tomas Ross breaks down. Oh man, oh no man, oh man. Just Rachel hands him the napkin dispenser. He scrambles with it. Robin Williams says, "Give me the damn thing." Yeah, and then he yells at his friend, "You're no longer my friend. We're through. Kaput!" And he storms out, and that just shows how much of a great actor Robin Williams and Billy Crystal are. Is that they were able to pull this off and make it so memorable without ever rehearsing it, with just off the top of their heads. All done because they were filming their movie Father's Day. They just happened to be in the area,
and you can tell how good of a friends they were.
Oh yeah, the best.
Yeah. God, I miss Robin Williams.
Yeah, me too. And if you want to hear some funny stuff, Billy Crystal was after Robin Williams passed away. Did a Nerdist episode of the Nerdist podcast, and he went on several other things, and he was talking about Robin Williams, and he said one of his favorite things to look forward to was we get a random phone call from a San Francisco number, and he would answer, and it was Ronald Reagan on the other line. Well, Billy, Good shit.
So I think I already know your number one. Why don't you say it?
Earlier.
Yeah, okay.
So my number one is the one with the football, which is a Thanksgiving episode.
Okay.
Yeah. So emotions become the feast of the day when the gang plays touch football on Thanksgiving, unleashing Ross and Monica's competitive streaks. Joey and Chandler argue over who gets to date a Dutch model watching the game. Rachel, feeling continually sidelined, makes a play that seems to win the game, but when it falls short, Ross and Monica simultaneously dive for the ball, refusing to yield it. So with this one, you get different dynamics. You get the guys versus the girls. You get Ross, Phoebe, and Rachel against Joey, Chandler, and Monica, I believe. Or something along those lines. Yeah, you just see a whole bunch of different mingling. You see Rachel being left out because she's not the best athlete. So Ross's advice, go long. And Rachel ends up going so long, she comes back with a pretzel.
It went long.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first instance where we do see Monica's insane competitive streak?
No, we saw it with the one with all the poker.
Right. Okay, then. And really, the reason why they're doing this game is because when they were children, they would at Thanksgiving play a game of touch football for what is known as the Geller Cup, which is a troll doll hammered to a 2x4.
One ugly cup.
Yeah, what an ugly cup. And for years, they thought that it was lost to the lake when their dad got mad at Monica for breaking Ross's nose and threw it in the lake. But no, Monica went back and retrieved it.
You know what's funny about that story? I can't keep track together being that strict of a parent that would do that. Can you?
Yeah, a little bit. Every parent's got their strict streak in them.
I know, but then track together who's one of the funniest recurring guest stars on. Okay.
Oh, fuck, when he walks in on Monica and Chandler, dear Lord.
I love in the 7th season when Jack takes Chandler to the health club.
Yeah, whoops. Yeah. No, overall, this was a very, very fun episode because you see the guy, you see them all combating against each other, but it's in a good way as opposed to that season 2 episode that season 2 episode you were talking about earlier, where this is the fun side of the gang disagreeing.
Right, absolutely. And I just love seeing Chandler and Joey fight over women.
Oh God, yeah.
And when it finally looked like Chandler won, how he just sabotages it.
Oh, because he just starts fucking gloating.
Yeah, and it's like before season 5, he always got in his way of meeting women. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, he couldn't stop getting into his way. And then season 5...
Us, we just can't help it.
And then season 5 happens, and we all know what happened in season 5.
Of course. Like, I can't wait till we get to.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. All right, so what do we have to look forward to next season?
Next season, one of my favorite iconic episodes.
Yeah.
And that involves a shooting game. We have our trip to look forward to.
London, baby.
Well, not that trip, but London too. Can I say with you when we get to Yemen?
Yes, that is true. That is that season. Yes. Can I say Yemen? Yeah, totally.
You had 1-5 Yemen Road, Yemen.
and seasons later, it's revealed she still thinks he's in Yemen.
Yeah. We also get introduced to an interesting person in Ross's life.
Mm-hmm. We also get introduced to Chandler's last serious girlfriend before Monica.
Right.
Yeah.
We should say in season 3, I'll just say this, you're finishing up. They were the that time we saw Richard before Monica and Chandler got together.
That's right, yes.
And, might I add, it was weird thinking about his trademark mustache.
Yeah, that was done for a role in a movie he was doing. I remember that movie. But yeah, you're right. It is so weird seeing him without his mustache.
He kind of looked like Huey Lewis a little bit without his mustache.
Kinda, yeah, just a taller, better looking version.
Whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And let's not forget, this is the season where Phoebe gets pregnant.
Right.
Yeah, which was all done because in real life, Lisa Kudrow got pregnant. That's the whole reason that storyline was done.
Yep. And what else? We see an iconic actor who works with Joey.
Yeah. No, that's a later season.
No, he's in full.
Is this the one? This is the one with the shower. That's right.
Yeah, the shower incident.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Anything else?
And honestly, I think this actually might be my favorite season. It's a toss up between this and 5 for me. It's my favorite season.
I think I've been more towards 5, only because we certain players end up in 5 and who they end up with.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's definitely a toss up because these middle years of Friends are so good. So good.
And it's sad because these are the years that Matthew Perry doesn't remember.
Yeah, because he couldn't handle his demons. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Matt, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on my Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can find me all over the Media Sweaties Network channel here. It's on several shows along here with Ben Rayner. And you can also find me on my other channel, Schmoes of the North, where every week we do 2 episodes breaking down the week that is Schmodown. Ben, what about you?
You guys can find me at Ben_Rayner right here on the Media Sweaties Network and on my Schmodown show, Mount Schmodown, where we go into players' careers. And this week we're going into the career of one Stacey Howard.
Right on.
It should be a fun episode.
Yeah, it's no kidding. She's got quite the interesting career, that lady.
She's been around a long time.
Yeah, she has been.
Yeah.
I think she first popped up in like season 2, if I'm not mistaken. Did she, or is it season 3?
One of them.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. So, sorry, do you have anything else that you wanted to say? Okay. No. So, on behalf of myself and Ben, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next week on the one with the recapping Friends season 4. Everybody, you have a good night, and don't forget to stay sweaty.